Attention, quiet on the set. It's Tirade TV. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another show. First of all, for you who haven't done it already, please subscribe, like, and if you like this video, you like the news, share it. So, you know how I like to do it. First of all, welcome back to Tirade TV. Couple of, actually, one news headline I want to get into today. Uh, this is um, this is getting crazy. We have pro-American versus anti-American, supposedly in this particular news headline. Let's just take a look at it real fast. This is actually involves one of America's favorite grocers, and the other, I guess, is more of a regional grocer, maybe in North Carolina in that area, maybe not for sure. I've never heard of them before, but let's let's take a look at this here. This here clearly, this is a Fox News article that I saw, actually Fox Business article that I saw. It says Harris Teeter, which I'm assuming is a regional grocery chain. Kroger, which everyone seems to know them. I think they're pretty much nationwide. It says Harris Teeter, a Kroger, faced backlash for pulling pro-America items after complaints. Get woke, go broke. Hmm. Company said they are recalling Freedom Series items labeled "Made in USA" and feature guns and eagles. So here we go again. It's one, like I said before, it's pro-America versus anti-America. Seems to be in this particular article here. But of course, let me know what you guys are. Let me know what you all think. But let's take a look at what's going on here. Basically, it says here that Harris Teeter and Kroger are facing backlash for a decision to remove patriotic products after people complained. A customer took the Twitter Monday to complain about Harris Teeter selling some pro-America items that read, quote, "Give me liberty or give me debt," unquote, and "America, love it or leave it," saying they were insensitive as mass shooting incidents happened around the country. It goes on to say, "Why are you allowing this type of item to be sold at a grocery store in Huntersville, North Carolina? Clearly, in light of the recent mass shootings, you can understand how this is not a good idea," the Twitter user wrote. Now, I'm a little bit maybe I'm looking at it from a biased perspective or opinion, but there's so many things in the store that that could be labeled insensitive. Like I could literally walk in a Kroger or any store right now and point out at least 300 items that I would be that I would consider to be insensitive regarding certain situations. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. But let's go ahead and see what else they say here. Man, this is getting a little crazy. Harris Tweeter Harris Tweeter responded by thanking the customer and telling her they would be discontinuing the Freedom Series items. So, first of all, they're called Freedom Series items. Here's my thing when it comes to the word freedom: either you want it or you don't. There is no, to me, in my opinion, freedom, there's no gray area. Either you want it or you don't. Either you want to be completely free to do, you know, to exercise your rights, or you don't. Some people, it is what it is right now. I mean, you have certain rights, right? You're free to exercise them. It's not like this is, what they were selling on the store shelves was against the law or anything. I could see if it was illegal, where it clearly said these items cannot be sold. Then yeah, if it's illegal, you know, I would say take them off the shelves. But then after that, comes, okay, well, maybe legislatively they will come up with some kind of bill or law that will disallow stores or grocers or merchants to sell these type of items. Who knows? That's something I could see maybe them trying to do down the line. But right now, it's legal for them to sell those items, and they do have a customer base for that. That's one thing about sales. That's one thing about business. You find your customer base and you sell to them. And there are a lot of many so-called pro-Americans or patriots that shop at Kroger for now, but there are. And like I said, the Harris Teeter, I'm not familiar with them. They're not in my area, but I'm assuming that there are some pro-American patriots that shop there too. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any backlash, right? But this is getting crazy. Like, people are becoming so sensitive to any and everything. I mean, what if I was to go in the store one day and be like, you know what? Me being a Black American, I'm a I'm insensitive to the fact that at this particular car dealership, they don't have any black cars. They only have white cars, brown cars, and green cars. Where are all the black cars? So because of that, I want to file a lawsuit. Or because of that, I'm going to boycott such and such car dealership. I mean, that's really what it's coming to now. Or if I go into a store, oh, well, I'm boycotting because you don't have any black shirts. You only have white shirts. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, literally, that's what it's coming to. That's what people's minds are right now. And it's really sad. It's really sad. Like, do you think Kroger or Harris Teeter is out here selling these to basically personally annoy or being sensitive to, gun violence victims? No. They're selling it because they have the right to. They're selling it because Second Amendment is still a right in this country. You still have, even with or without the Second Amendment, you still have a God-given right to defend yourself. And I'm pretty sure Kroger knows that. Even though there are certain other things that Kroger has done that I disagree with, but this one, I don't have any problem with them selling that. I mean, should we boycott people who don't believe in the LGBTQIA community? Should we boycott Kroger because we go in there and we see everything is in rainbow colors and saying pride or whatever? No, no one's, from what I'm understanding, no one has tried to boycott or publicly complain to Kroger about selling those items. I mean, every time you go into a Kroger, or pretty much any store, you see items set pride. But for those people who don't believe in it, I don't see them taking to Twitter saying, like this. Not that I'm aware of. So if you want them to stop selling one thing, pro-American, then like I said, there are many other stores or many other supplies or merchandise in the store that could be, insensitive, or that could be disrespectful in some people's eyes. So right now you can't really just, you know, point out these one or two particular items and say, hey, it's insensitive to what's going on in the country. But anyway, let's go on and see what they're saying, because this here doesn't it's not computing for me right now. It goes on to say, thanks for reaching out. Said the company said, as soon as these items were brought to our attention, we put a recall request into place, and these items are being removed from all store locations. We appreciate your concern, the company added. So it's a situation where they're basically appeasing this particular customer or these few customers here because they felt, this was insensitive. And no one's trying to make light of the shootings in Uvalde or the recent one in DC or the one in, Buffalo, New York, or anywhere else. No one's trying to make light of that. That's horrific. It's tragic. It's, a senseless act. No one's trying to make light of those situations, but at the same time, people still want to exercise their constitutional rights, or more so importantly, their God-given rights. It is what it is on that. But let's go on here and see what else people had to say. Again, the company said they would be recalling the items. And Christy Clark, if I'm not mistaken, she's a politician in the North Carolina area. I don't know if she's a congresswoman or whatever. Someone please let me know in the comments. But she takes to Twitter and says, I am disappointed these koozies are being sold in a North Carolina store. 110 Americans, this is crazy, 110 Americans die uh, every day from gun violence, and most recently, children, educators, healthcare providers, and family members were killed in mass shootings. Please remove them. So she's saying that, look, these may be offensive to people who have been victims of gun violence. So originally you're thinking, okay, mm, maybe I could see the point, maybe. But as I said earlier, there are so many other things in this that could trigger, emotions from victims of certain tragedies that they've experienced. So we can't just say this one in particular, because if let's put it this way, if we removed every item that someone found offensive out of Kroger, Harris Teeter, or any other grocery store, there would be no more grocery store. Let's be honest, because everyone can find any particular item, offensive or considered to be insensitive. Of course, Kroger responds by saying, thanks for reaching out, Christy. We will tell our leadership about your request that we remove these items from our shelves. We appreciate your feedback. And looking at the items there, I guess there are two koozies. One says, give me liberty or give me death, which, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, that was Patrick Henry that said that, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, I mean, that is a historic quote. I mean, no one wants to really live in a society or a nation where there's no liberty. The other one says, arms change, rights don't. It look like it also says Second Amendment on there. Hey, once again, I really see no problem with it, because it's a right. Not only the Second Amendment right, but as I said, and I will continue to say, a God-given right to defend yourselves, and defend yourselves in the best and most efficient way possible. So things like that have been being sold for, decades now. Shoot, maybe even centuries for all I know. And now all of a sudden it's offensive. You know, there have been mass shootings historically, quite a few. But now all of a sudden these things are, being sold are insensitive. So I just don't understand. I don't understand. Well, I do, but I don't. Let's go on here. Okay, now here we go. Now it says, then came the backlash. And these are quotes from people who actually responded to, I guess, their particular tweets or those tweets, whatever. It says, are you serious? The response, not shopping at Kroger anymore for being anti-American, one Twitter user said. Ban assault koozies, another user responded. So you have a little back and forth going here, which is really what certain people want. They want the back and forth. They want the pro-Americans versus the anti-Americans. That's really what they want. Which I just have a hard time understanding. How can you live in a country that gives you the freedom to do certain things, and you're anti that country or you're anti-American. I do believe that people who don't like a particular country, maybe they should be afforded to go stay in another country that's possibly worse off. And if it shows, maybe they would show some appreciation more so for what they can have and accomplish in America. That's just my opinion, though. It goes on to say 102 people die per year in traffic fatalities. Can you also please make sure no koozies depict cars? Thanks in advance, a customer said in another tweet. Exactly. Exactly. Goes on what I was saying before. Someone could look at a koozie and see a car on there and it could trigger them or bring up a bad memory or make them feel that the store is insensitive to someone people who died in car fatalities, or they may have had a loved one that passed away due to a car fatality. You know that could be that could be considered insensitive to them. So are we going to remove those? Or are we going to make sure not only koozies but t-shirts or anything else in the stores do not depict cars? But let me guess, I bet you they won't go that far. I'm just saying. Once again, 3,000 people die every year from foodborne diseases in the US. Please remove all of your food items as well. There you go. There you go. There, if not all foods, there are certain foods are that kill people. I said in one of my previous videos, if you're really concerned about people, you should ban all sugar and all salt, or sugar or salt related items, because there are more people, honestly, that pass away, that lose their lives due to sugar or salt annually or yearly, more so than any other thing. But yet they're still selling salt or salt related items. They're still selling sugar or items with sugar that are items that contain sugar. I mean, they haven't stopped that yet. I mean, you have to know how to pick your battles, because if you remove one thing, there's so many other things that you're going to have to remove. This is it's getting a little crazy here. It's getting a tad bit crazy. And of course, Harris Teeter in their tweet says, "Thanks for reaching out, Christy. As soon as these items, uh, were brought to our attention, we put a recall request into items are being removed from all store locations. We appreciate your concern." Someone else tweeted, "Good grief, stop giving in to these people. This is ridiculous. This is crazy." Someone else tweeted, "No more Harris Teeter, Publix, or Food Line for me." So yeah, see, this thing works both ways. It's like you're appeasing some customers, but you're losing others. So at the end of the day, are you really benefiting? If you're a merchant or store, are you really benefiting? Think about that. I would urge all CEOs and district managers and area managers, regional managers, store managers, think about that. You're appeasing this half, but you're losing this half. So are you really winning at the end of the day? Hmm. It's kind of crazy, man. Just saying. Someone else put on there, "Gosh, Harris Teeter, this is ridiculous." Then another customer beneath the tweet there, as you can see right above the Harris Teeter photo, says, another customer added, "Get woke, go broke." Hey, there are a lot of people who are awakened. See, there's a difference, in my opinion, than you know getting woke and then being awakened. You know, I'll let you guys figure out the difference there. But in my opinion, being woke basically means whatever you believe in, whatever you see on mainstream media, you believe in whatever. You're more into feelings, not facts. You basically being told what to do, how to think. Where Someone who's awakened knows that there's always something, there's a story behind the story. There's a reason behind certain things that are going on. There are people who realize that certain rights and freedoms are being taken away and are trying to be taken away, or trying to be stripped away from us. That's what awakened is. So, yeah, I didn't mean for this to go this long, but I mean, this is something that need to be, talked about. We need to speak up on it. But what do you all think at this point? Because someone else put on there, I have a family of 6 and spend almost $200 a week in your stores. Every weekend, dozens of people are shot in Chicago. Oh, this is a good one. Many children, many are children. I just saw you sell Chicago style pizza. This seems to be very insensitive. Please remove them from your stores. Also, the new online ordering is bad. There you go. Prime example. Prime example. And if you want to go, if you could take it even further than that. Not only could you stop selling uh Chicago pizza, you would have to stop selling Chicago Cubs paraphernalia, Chicago White Sox paraphernalia, uh, Chicago Bulls, Chicago Bears, whatever. You would have to stop selling all that because it has Chicago in it, and there are many kids being killed in Chicago, and most of it is black on black crime. I would say that almost all of it, if not all of it, is black on black crime. So is it insensitive to sell anything that sells uh, says Chicago? See, sometimes you open that door, certain people or certain things are gonna walk through that door that you don't want to walk through it. So before you open the door, you better make dang sure what you're doing. And that's real. Someone, older told me that, you know, always be careful who you open the door for or what you open the door for. Because there may be something come in that you didn't want in. And look like that's what this is. They're opening the door and things are happening that they may not want to happen. But that's what happens when you I mean that's what happens when you go woke. This whole cancel culture type of thing, go woke type of thing, it works both ways. You can have someone stop shopping or boycotting a certain store because of they feel one way, while the other people who feel the opposite way can also do the same thing. So, anyways, didn't mean for this to be this long, but just want to get you all opinion on this. Please like, share, subscribe, and hey, comment down below. Let me know what you all think about this story. Is it fair? Um, where do you all stand on this? I mean, unlike a lot of places on this channel, I welcome all opinions, as we should. You may disagree with me, you may not, but it doesn't mean, just long as you keep it respectful and clean, I have no problem with it. With you disagreeing with me, because there may be some people watching this who may have, been a victim of gun violence, may have they may know someone who's been a victim of gun violence. But as I said, there are also people who know people who's been a victim of car fatalities. So let me know what you all think. And as I always say, never let any so-called politician or any mainstream media dictate what you think or how you think. Do your research and think for yourself. See you. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.